Hello, my friends. This brief broadcast will be called Your Mother Needs to Hear This from You. My name is Katarina Satori. I'm coming to you on Mother's Day here in the United States. It's a very special holiday called the Mother's Day. It's not in every country we celebrate Mother's Day. I am originally born and raised in Russia, where we have a Women's Day on March 8th, where all the women are honored. Grandmothers, little girls, daughters, sisters, wives, mothers, every woman is honored. I live in the United States for the last 20 years, and I love that there is such a holiday where we can really focus on our mothers, right? Really focus on our mothers. And I thought to myself, well, what does your mom need to hear from you? And I have a ritual that I practice with my own mother. I usually do it on her birthday, where I send her a voice note that she hears from my voice. And I tell her, thank you for all the sacrifices that you were willing to make to give me life and to raise me the best way that was possible with all the obstacles that you face. Basically, your mother needs to hear from you a validation of her, everything that she gave to the task of raising you. And I don't think our mothers hear that enough. And what I also know, that mothers carry guilt. There is no perfect humans, so there is no perfect mothers. And when we express appreciation and when we honor this high cost, the high price that it took our mothers to raise a human being, it helps them feel seen, feel loved, feel cherished. It gives them fuel, right? Hi, Lisa. Yeah, and if your mother is not in the body anymore, if your mother transitioned, if you've never known your mother, right? You can speak to her soul. We have this one collective unconscious, one spirit world. And what a gift it is to speak to your mother's soul and to say, thank you for being a portal for me to come through and take incarnation. I just shared a blog that I have on my website. My mother was my most difficult and most important teacher. My mother was not an easy person to grow up around, for many reasons, right? And most of my young adult self, from probably 20 to 30, I had a decade of resentment. And I had strong reasons for my resentment. But who was paying the price? My body was paying the price, the lack of peace, the repeated mistakes and the wrong relationships, because I was unconsciously repeating the choices of my mother. And I tried to run away from my mother. I tried to run away from everything she represented, everything I resented, only to discover that you can't run away from your own shadow. And your family history is sort of like a shadow that's important to alchemize. So I began to turn around, and instead of turning away from my mother, I began to turn around and I began to warm up my heart towards her. And I began doing these expressions of validations. And I remember the first time I sent her a voice note, and I don't even know how she received it, because she just said, thank you, right? But I don't know if she cried listening to it, if she was, completely shocked to receive that expression. I don't know, but it felt right to do that. So one thing your mother needs to hear more from you, as I deeply feel in my heart, is to, just spontaneously leave her a voice note, leave her a video message, write a handwritten letter, and tell her, thank you for everything you did to make sure that I could come into the world. And thank you for all those nights and weeks and months where you doubted that you were made for this, where it was probably a scary decision for you to make, right? My mom, as I share in a lot of my videos, just wasn't prepared to have me. She had me at 22 years old. Whew, I'm almost 45 and I'm a cat mom. Like, I never wanted to have my own children. It was a very clear decision for me. There was one chapter in my life where I wanted to have 3 kids, but it was more like conditioning. That's what was the society glorified, and at one chapter. And then the more I got to know myself, the more I would find my true self. I was realizing, not this lifetime. That's not something I'm interested in. And there are so many ways to mother, right? So there's a big wisdom to really discern, is that a call of your biology, right? Is your genes saying it's time to mate, it's time to procreate, and if it's your sacred soul assignment. Because I have seen so many people in my friend circle who are losing their minds in parenthood. And I'm not exaggerating. It's such a hard job. You have to fully be in. You have to have support. You have to be committed. You have to be really patient. And some friends told me, if I knew how hard parenthood would be, I would really reconsider having a child. So, for the younger generation, for the younger people who watch this live stream, who don't know, should I have children? Should I not have children? Take your time. Sit with this, right? Really take your time, because you can't reverse that decision. And if it's truly a destiny for you to raise a child, it will transform you. My partner has a child, a really sweet, so bright, amazing girl, just turned 11. So I have a great honor and such a beautiful opportunity to watch a child grow, right? And it's such a gift, right? And she's so curious, has a very dynamic childhood, different activities. There is piano lessons, and there is, theater, and there is I can't even keep track of all the activities that the child has, but it's an amazing dynamic life, right? Dynamic childhood. So it's truly a gift. And but this is the message for our mothers, to help them, to validate what sacrifices that they have made. And there is no motherhood without a sacrifice. That is clear to me as the sky, right? So to honor them for that, and to say thank you. It was not an easy task for you, but because of you, I have this life, I have this incarnation, right? And for anybody who has strained relationship with the mother, maybe distance, hi everyone, I am sharing a message on this Mother's Day, what your mother needs to hear more from you. If you already give your mother amazing validation, find something specific that you appreciate about her now. Maybe a specific trait of her character, right? That she is, that you've learned patience from her. Whenever I talk about my mom to my friends, I'm amazed at her ability to turn whatever scarce resources that she had into abundance. She would make our sweets and snacks and our clothes, and she would, create our toys. Because we didn't have a lot of resources, we grew up quite poor. She was resourceful, and this is an amazing trait that I took from her, how to be resourceful. And I leave voice notes to my mom and go specifically to a chapter in my childhood that I remember. So I'm very specific when I give her praise or appreciation. And I say, Mom, when I was 8 years old, what stands out for me is that specific moment when you did that, and it really taught me how to be resourceful. So specificity, when it comes to compliments, the more specific you are, the more that compliment lands in someone's heart. And the more descriptive you are about a specific moment that your mom showed up for you, or your mom truly taught you something, right? Specificity really, really matters. So that's what I wanted to share. And if you are, if this day maybe feel sad for some of you, for some people who don't have their mothers, maybe your mother passed, maybe you never knew your mother, maybe you were adopted, just a gentle reminder that you can connect to her spirit through your heart, and you can imagine her essence, right? And you can imagine her vibration. Like, what would vibration of your mother? That's what I do with my grandmother. My grandmother has passed 25 years ago. So whenever I think of her, I think about my favorite moment that I have shared with her. It was a moment of picking strawberries, where she would share with me her life wisdom, and she would give me her life advice. And now, every time I have strawberries, I think about my grandmother, because it was such an impactful connection between her and I. And she's not in the body, but she's in my heart. So whenever I think of her and I say her name, and I think about the qualities that I have developed because of her example, her spirit and her essence is alive. So thank you for tuning in. If you're going to watch this as a replay, if you're going to watch this live with me, I cherish and treasure the woman that gave you life, that became a portal for you to take this incarnation, and be easy on her. We all make mistakes, and some of us make a lot of mistakes that sometimes we have a very hard time forgiving ourselves for. And our mothers are not exceptions, I feel like my mom tried so hard to have an opportunity to have a do-over in her parenting. So just to tell you briefly, my mom adopted a child when she was 60 years old. Okay, 60-year-old woman took a child to raise, right? An orphan. And she raised my stepsister, right? Hello, Yvonne. Yeah, my mom, everybody wants a redemption. We all make mistakes. And if you have been a young parent completely unprepared for that chapter, you better believe it. You make a lot of mistakes, and when you mature, you're looking for redemption. You're looking for an opportunity to do something different. So that's what my mom did. At 60-year-old, she adopted a child and raised her. So my stepsister just turned 18 and went to college, and my mom raised her. Like, total badass, right? But it's also like, I can say, yes, my mom was a badass, but it also was a way for her to heal from all the mistakes that she'd made raising us, and gave her purpose in the meaning. That's the number one thing that we all need. We need a higher meaning. So I like to give a lot of reassurance to my mom. And, one of my favorite moments, the last time, or maybe 10 years ago, I had a moment when I visited my mom in Russia. And we had that moment of connection. You can recognize where you have that opportunity to say something really important to your parent. And we were sitting together outside on the bench on a hot summer evening. And I said, Mom, there's something I wanted to tell you for a long time. And I said, if you are hard on yourself for the things you wish you've done differently raising me, I want you to say the one thing that you've done so well that evened everything out. That when I was 17, you trusted me and you let me go and find my own path, because I left home when I just turned 17. And I said, you trusted me. And your trust gave me so much confidence in myself. And I said, that's something that you did so right. You recognize my own capacity to navigate my own life. And I want you to know that how deeply that impacted me. And all the things that you think you've done, you epically messed up, it evens out. Right? It evens out. And I could just see the tears in her eyes. It was such an incredible healing. And that's what our mothers need to hear from us. Our mothers need to hear that we understand that they have made mistakes, we have made mistakes, but there is such a great opportunity to validate our humanness and to say, thank you for giving me life. Without you, I wouldn't be here. Thank you for carrying me for 9 months. Thank you for pushing me out of your body. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the sacrifice your body took, just giving me life. So, like these things, I promise you, your mom will cry the tears of being recognized, and it will heal her soul. And if you do that, it will also heal your soul, and you will have this beautiful gift of true intimacy, right? So that's my message for Mother's Day. Be gentle on your moms. Remind them that they did amazing and that you are grateful, and be very specific in your compliments. I think it's like I told my mom, we were laughing so hard. I said, Mom, I just remembered how you were an entrepreneur. You were making homemade vodka. It was illegal vodka machine. And we were laughing because I was like, I did not know what was that machine. It was like looking like this metal monster on the kitchen counter, drip, 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 filtrating things and creating vodka that my mom could sell, just make extra money. Because we grew up during Soviet Union where everybody had factory jobs and everybody had the same salary. Whether you were an architect, a doctor, or a factory worker, you had a union salary, right? So my mom had 2 kids and she was a single mom, so she had to hustle to just to make it. So she made vodka on the side. She made all kind of deals with the neighbors. My mom was a deal maker. So I told her that, and I said, Mom, I remember, and I really appreciate that you showed me how don't just passively sit and wait for things to get better. Become creative, make deals, make something of use to others, right? Illegal vodka it's pretty amazing. Yeah, and then my mom made our own lollipops, like she made our own candy. She made us clothes. She knitted our socks. She made us toys. Pretty much everything she made, right? And it's pretty amazing. Yeah, Lisa, exactly. Yeah, it does get passed on, right? And the entrepreneurial skills. So it's amazing. But the beautiful thing is, to call your mom and to say, or leave a voice note, thank you, I appreciate you. All right, so I am live streaming from my new office. I'm going to show you a little bit. 2 weeks ago, I moved in with my beloved partner, Rob. We're living a home together. So this plant has been transplanted. He's barely alive, but it's getting better. He got a little bit stressed after the move. But it's a beautiful, you see my altar, it's like a beautiful light here. We just painted this room. We're still finishing up to refresh it. And this room is called Shakti Room, where creative pulse, and it has my altar, my ritual things, all my books, salt lamps, and different sacred objects, and of course a table from which I teach, and a table from which I write. So a little mini tour of my tree bookshelf. And I'm wearing a t-shirt that I got in Peru. This is a coca leaf This is from the Peruvian company that I always hire to take us to Machu Picchu on a 2-day pilgrimage. So life is amazing, darlings. Just since I'm here, just to give you kind of an update, I love this urban life. For the last 8 years, I've been kind of like a hermit, ocean priestess hermit. And I was living by the sea, which was always my dream, to live by the ocean. And, you know, everything has ending, and ending is a new beginning. So this is a new beginning where I'm in a very dynamic, filled with diversity, urban life. But the beautiful thing is we are in a neighborhood that is so quiet. You can only hear the wind chimes, parks everywhere, all kind of parks. I am surrounded, wait for it, by 16 museums, 10 minutes away. Art galleries, bookstores, farmers markets. So that's just a lot of diversity, a lot of variety, and everything is walkable. So of course we have cars, we drive, but everything is walkable. So I am really enjoying it. I am loving this chapter, and I just wanted to share this with you. And happy full moon, which is tonight and tomorrow, a very important portal. I hope you enjoy the beautiful illumination that this moon brings. And my ally, Yvonne, so good to see you. Lisa, so good to see you and to feel you. And thank you for being a part of this circle. San Diego is about to upgrade energy with you, Yvonne says. Yeah, it feels so good. We constantly make rituals, offerings, prayers, you know, chant mantras. We go to kirtan together. It's such a beautiful life that we are choosing to align and to create together. So thank you for being a part of my community and sharing this sweet, sweet connection time. Until next, happy Mother's Day.